busy with work. It's a busy season for us with selling our stuff on Etsy, so getting some last minute stuff out yesterday, prepping for the holidays. So today it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be troubleshooting an idea for Alman. So Alman requested a ornament or a pendant with a kalimba. So this might be a complete fail. We're going to see how it works, but I thought it would be really fun to try with some mixed media stuff. So I have some little wooden pieces here, and I'm going to see what I could do. Hi Amber, how are you? So hopefully Alman's going to hop on the live stream. I tried to post it in the Discord group, and then so what he requested was a kalimba. So this is the picture. Hi Clarice. This is the picture that he sent me of a kalimba. So it's not going to be nearly as detailed as that, although that would be super fun to do it. Doing well, thank you. But I thought I would just go with that idea and just play around with some mixed media stuff. So if this isn't your guys' cup of tea, no problem. It's okay if you leave the live stream, because it's not really just wire art today, but it's all good. Hi Susanna. Hi Mary. How are you? So I'm going to flip the screen. We're just going to flip it around. And Mustafa, hi Mustafa. There's a little bit of snow outside at our place, so we're going to turn this around, and I'll show you the picture again that Alman sent me of the kalimba. Hi Crafty Michelle. And like I said, it's not really a wire art tutorial today. It's not even a regular wire art live stream. I'm just basically turning on my camera and playing around with this idea. So like I said, if it's not your cup of tea, no problem. I'm just going to go for it and play with this idea. So I'm going to open up the live stream on my computer so I can see if you guys are commenting. Perfect. And we're going to just play around with this idea. So I had two ideas for this. One was to get some pieces of wood. Okay, and I guess I could paint them for that, but I don't know if I'm going to go all out and paint it, although wouldn't that be adorable to paint it and draw that little deer on there? That would be super cute, so I might do it. I've just finished my Christmas quilling scene. Ooh, I can't wait to see it. Are you posted in the Heather Boyd art section on the Discord group, Mustafa? I'd love to see it. So I cut up one of these pieces of the wooden pieces to be more rectangular shape. I just cut that with an X-Acto knife. So that's one thing I'm going to work with here. Hey Liz from England. Nice. Awesome. I just sent some packages to England. I sent a lot of things to the UK. So we're going to play around with that. I have my tools here. So I have all the tools, and I have some, I think I'm going to work with 20 gauge wire, although those are silver. But the other thing I wanted to try was to try to do these little pieces with metal. So I'm going to do those with wire, but then the other thing I wanted to try was to make the base of the kalimba with metal pieces. So that's something else I want to try too. So you're posting it now. Awesome. I'll have a look after the live stream for sure. Hi Debbie, how are you doing? So Debbie, we're not doing wire art today. We're doing something, well, it's sort of wire art. We're gonna play with the idea, but I'm going to get a metal piece for the base, and I'm going to try to make this kalimba, but I'm trying to find a piece of metal that's not too thick, because this stuff is really hard to cut. It's all cool. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to take this piece, and I'm going to try two different things. So one with metal and one with wood, and I'm going to first start by cutting the shape. So to cut this, this is metal from the Beaducation group. A while back they'd sent me a bunch of stuff to do some tutorials. So I'm going to work with that and just cut a piece. I don't want it too small either, but I also want to be able to fit my hole punch inside to do some holes. So this is what I want to make sure, that it's not too small, not too big. So if we just take this, and we're going to maybe cut it about here, and hopefully I can cut a straight line. I could also draw a line with a pen, but that would be too easy, right? So let's just go ahead and cut that and not cut ourselves, and then we're going to cut it about this size, it looks like. So we're going to cut it maybe across here. Okay, and then right away I want to cut those little corners because those are going to be really, really sharp. So let's just cut these corners a little bit. When you do scrapbooking, they actually have something called a corner cutter. I don't know if you've ever done scrapbooking, but they have a hole punch that cuts round corners on photos and cardstock, and it's super cool. I remember in those days when scrapbooking was popular, I took some scrapbooking courses and I got all the tools, right? I think I had a friend that was one of those reps, you know, like selling Avon, but they'd sell scrapbooking supplies. So I had a friend that was a rep, and I bought a bunch of stuff from her. So here we go. Are they just normal scissors? No, these are actually wire, like metal cutters. So these are heavy duty metal cutters. And yeah, so I don't think you would want to cut this metal with regular scissors because it's quite thick. This is one of the thinner gauges of the metal from the Beaducation metal stamping people, but it's still, you would not want to cut it with your scissors. So I'm just bending back the ends a little bit so they're flat. You can also file it if you wanted to file it. That would be a good idea. So let me just move this. I'm going to move the Kalimba picture over to the side so I can see it, but it's not going to be distracting. So let me remove some of these pieces. And this is where we eat our dinner, so I don't want to get those little pieces in my dinner tonight. So two options for the Kalimba. We're going to see how it works. And what I want to be able to do is to attach some pieces at the end. So I'm just like completely winging this, guys. I do not know what I'm doing, but I'm going to go ahead and attach these, I guess, in two places. I probably should get a better picture of a Kalimba to look at it. So I'm actually going to Google it right now to see what it looks like and see if I could find a better picture. Kalimba. Almond's here. Hey, Almond, I just showed your picture of the Kalimba, and I am going for it to see what I can do with it, but I just want to find, okay. Yeah, they seem to be attached in two places. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go back to your picture, and where is it? Okay, let me just find your picture again to show you. Yeah, so I was showing, Almond, I was showing people the picture you sent me of the Kalimba, and we're going to see what we could do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to try to poke a few holes because I want it to get quite nice. Oh, thank you, Clarice. That's for the, yeah, that's, I have this channel, the wire one, and then of course my new channel is the art channel. So I'm going to just do a bunch of holes to see how this is going to work. I'm really like totally winging this, guys. This is just it's going to show you what you can do with the metal stamping stuff too. So if I just do a few holes, I don't want to do too many. I'm just going to do like say 3 on either side. See, this is really great, this stamper, because you could just stamp holes in things. So I might even be able to get 4 more on here. Let me just see. 1. It's not going to be very even at all, but that's okay. So we're just going to poke a few holes. I love this hole punch. I use it a lot actually when I'm doing kind of more mixed media stuff. Anyways, my holes are not even whatsoever. Oh God, they're awful. But that's okay. We're just going to start with that. And so we have this one, and then we have this one as well. This one I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do holes in. So I think what I'm going to do is I might start with this one, and then I'm going to go to this one after. So I want one of those things. Yeah, those are really, really cool, those Kalimbas. Actually, my mom would really love them. In fact, I might try to actually make one. I think that would be super awesome. And then I could give it to my mom for Christmas. So now what I'm going to do is I need to do like the wires, but I don't know if I have enough silver wire. I'm going to see what I can do. I actually have some steel wire. Let me get the steel wire and see what that does. Okay, so I have this stainless steel wire that might be good. I'm going to play with that and then see how we do. I should have actually painted it blue. That would have been better. That would have been really pretty. Maybe I could paint it and let it dry while we do this. So just give me a second. I'm going to get some paint. Yeah, I think it's going to be nice if I paint it. So here's some paint, and then I'll let it dry while I'm doing the rest of it, because I think if I don't paint it, you're not going to really see what's going on. So let me just put it here, put it on here, and then I'm going to put some paint on there. And we'll let it dry while we're doing the wire part. So this is just the acrylic. Perfect. And we'll just get this around here. Nice. And get it around. I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'll just do it like this. And we'll let it dry while we're doing the rest of it. Okay, so this is going to be good. It's going to look much better if there's actually blue paint. So let's just do that. I'm going to let it dry. I'm just going to throw this in the sink. I don't want the paint to stick. Okay, there we go. So there's our base. And then what I was thinking, I don't know if it's going to work, is, thank you so much for the live stream. No problem, Alan. This live stream is not guaranteed. I'm afraid I cannot give you a 100% guarantee it's going to work, but it will be interesting, right? Always interesting. So now we're going to cut a piece of wire, maybe about 18 inches long. And, whoops, that's not the right cutter. So I'm going to, whoa, I'm picking up my wrong tools. I need the actual cutters. So there we go. Actually, I should not cut this stainless steel wire with those cutters because it's going to ruin them. So I am going to get my memory wire cutters. Yay. So let's use our memory wire cutters to cut the steel wire. And then what we're going to do is just do our little pegs. I'm going to put that at the side to dry. I'm going to put these over at the side. I've got all this stuff in the way. I don't need my hole punch anymore. And then I'm going to get my thin round pliers. And I'll show you the Kalimba again because you'll see how it goes. So the inner peg is longer than the outer pegs. So we're going to start in the middle. Okay, perfect. Kalimba, do you want to write it out, Alman? It's Kalimba, K-A-L-I-M-B-A, yes. And so now what we're going to do is take the wire and Kalimba. Is it a sharp? It's not Kalimba, is it? It's Kalimba, I think. Yeah, like So now we're going to take these. Oh, I think I'm going to try with my flat pliers because this is making too big of a loop. I want these to go in together. I want this to get like a little bit more stuck in there. Let me just see. Yeah, so that looks kind of interesting like that. I'm just worried with the steel wire. It might be a little bit too stiff to work with, but now let me just measure where this is going to be. So if this one's about here, okay, just about there, and it wouldn't be so cute to do that little deer on there. I'm going to leave space for it. I think it's super cool. This is going to be super stylized, this one, because I'm not actually going to use separate wires for the pegs. I'm just going to try something a little bit different. I'm just going to go back and forth with these. And I think this wire might be a little bit stiff, but live and learn, right? So this is a steel wire. The thing about this is it would, like, if it actually worked, it would be super cool because they would be kind of springy. The fact that it's a hard wire, these little like peg things or whatever you call them would be actually a little bit springy. Alman, what do you call these things? They're not called, are they keys? They're not called keys. Are they springs? I'm not quite sure what you call these little metal pieces that go on there. There must be a name for them, but I'm not quite sure. I guess if you looked up Google a diagram of the Kalimba, you'd probably come up with to find out what they're called. So if you know what those are called, let me know, because I don't really know what they're called. So yeah, this might be very cool. It also might be a giant fail, but we're just gonna try it. These are really, really, really stiff with the steel wire. So I'm thinking it would have been better. Say I had a 22 gauge steel wire, might be better because this is like super, super hard right now. So we've got, I think if we just do maybe 3 on either side is going to be good. So let's just do 3 on either side. I think it's going to be much better, because if we try to do any more than that, they're not going to fit. And you see, you really have to give it a good bend. So this one's going to be shorter. Okay, we'll give this one a good bend here. I kind of want to paint that moose now. Or you could even like print one off the internet and glue it on, like kind of decoupage it on there, varnish it on. That would be cool too. So we've got this one, and then we just need one more. They're a little bit wonky, but that's okay. So we're going to go here. It's a musical instrument. Yes, musical instrument. Exact. Tines. Ah, that makes sense. Yes, I think they have those in pianos, right? The tines. Yeah, very nice. And also forks. Forks, the little ends on forks are called tines. So that's what they are. Interesting. Good to know. See, we're getting a education here. That's what I love about these live streams, is getting your guys' feedback and discovering new things. And so there's like there's going to be like 5 of them, but it's stylized, right? So it doesn't have to be accurate, because I think the one you sent me probably has about a dozen or 20 tines on them. So it's really, it's not going to be accurate. It's going to be more stylized. So there we have these pieces like that, the tines. And let's just make sure it's going to line up. It's actually not too bad. It's kind of interesting. But now what we want to do is to be able to, for those to actually sit on the piece. So I think what I'm going to do here, just going to look at your picture again. What if we did like a little loop on either side? Okay, we're going to do like a little loop here on that side. Okay, and then pull it, or my little hack to like make the circle smaller, we're actually going to pull it a little bit. Okay, and then this one too, we want to do one on this side. So we're going to do this one here. Okay, I'm excited to try the one on the metal too, but this one's really cool. I'm liking it so far. The idea is to make it so it looks really decorative, you know, and then it'll look like art. So whether it's accurate or not is not too important, because it's just going to look very artsy and very cool. So we're going to pull those a little bit more. And then I think I'm going to clip those ends off unless I actually attach them. Let me just think for a minute what I want to do, because if I attach them on, it might be better. Or actually, you know what? These should maybe go across, because you need some kind of lever thing going on. So if we just bring this across here, okay, I'm going to bring that one across here. Okay, just going to bend it a little bit. And then this one too, we need to bring it across. So yeah, what if we tried that? We're going to go that one there, and then this one, I'm going to bring it underneath and bring that one across a little bit. This wire is very, very, very stiff. Okay. Oh, Julie's going. Okay, bye, Julie. Nice to see you. See you next time. And we're doing a Let's Get Wired on Saturdays. So if anybody wants to join live on Saturday, we're going to make some ornaments and do it. We're going to work together and share pictures in the Discord group. So that's Saturday at noon Eastern time. And that'll be a lot of fun too. So yeah, be sure to join the Discord group. I'll put it in the link below this video as well, or I could grab the link later. So see, we've just kind of put these behind here. This one is like this. And then what I would like to do now, I'm just going to bend this in so it's going to fit. This would go like on, oh my God, it's super cute. So this would go on here. I probably should have varnished that one first, but it's okay. I'm just going to remove it to see if it's like almost dry. So if we put this one here, and then maybe we can add some beads or something to it after. But I think the idea behind this now would be, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if there were like little beads across here or something? I think that would be fun, like to represent. And then there's like another kind of thing like below here underneath. So I'm a little worried about this wood that it might break, but we're going to do what we can for this. Okay, so Heather, Okay, I'm the one that showed you the spiders that you made today. Oh yes, those were awesome. You sent those to me on Instagram. Those were really, really beautiful. They're and she made a spider ring, right? Yeah. So Amy, it's Amy. Amy, yeah. Sorry, I wrote your name down, Amy, on my list of usernames. So Amy made some beautiful spiders, wire spiders, and she made one into a ring. So that was awesome. So Amy, if you're not on Facebook, you can always share in the Discord group in the share your work section on Discord. Let me grab the link for Discord, and then you guys can join the Discord group for the post live streams and also to share pictures of your work that you do, you know, either based on the tutorials or your own wire work. So let me just open up a recent document. I'm going to find the link to the Discord group. And Amy, if you're not on Facebook, if you're not in the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club, you can share them on Discord. So I'm just grabbing it now. There we go, copy, bring it back, and come back here. And so here is the Discord link if you want to join Discord and share the conversations on Discord after the live streams and stuff. So there we go. So now we're going to bend this around here. And then this one too, we're going to bend it underneath here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to attach this, but we're going to see. And then Almond, I'm sure you'll come up with some fun things to do with this design on your own as well. So perfect. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for sharing them. Those were gorgeous. So now we're going to put this one on here. It already has a little kind of like interesting movement to it. I'll remove that one. And then you want to bring this around here again. So I'm going to actually maybe bend this one down a bit. It's really awkward because this steel is very hard. So if I bend it down here a little bit and then bend this around here, this will make like a second kind of layer here. Maybe bring it up a little bit more so it's not too low. So we're going to have a second like little layer here. And then I'm going to bring this to the back again. So we're going to bring this one around to the back. This would definitely be easier to do with a copper wire. So we're going to bring this one in here. Oh, I got my thing blue a little bit. That's okay. So we're going to bring this one in here. Put it up here. Get it right in there. Don't break it. Maybe this side. Yeah, that side's a little thinner. So if we bring it in here, already it's looking like a kalimba. Almond, let me know what you think. It's coming along. So the idea though is how are we going to get that to stick? So let's flip it. And then I think if we attach these wires somehow, now I'm really wishing it was copper wire because this is going to be tricky. Oh, and if you want a pendant, you're going to need this to go up like a little bit as a pendant. So let's just bend this one up. Okay, try to center it. Bend that one up so it's somewhat centered. Looks amazing, yay! So we're going to bend that one up here. And then bring this one here, and we want this to go around to get it like secured in place. So we're going to bring this around here. Oh yeah, this, please do not use steel wire. This was a giant error on my judgment. I mean, I like the idea that it's kind of springy, but it's very, very hard, and I'm worried I'm going to break that, the wood. So now we're going to clip it with our our memory wire cutters. Try to clip it right in there. Don't get it in your eye. Okay, it's flew around the floor. I'm gonna have to find it somewhere. So now the thing is though, it's not super tight on there. So now we have to figure out a way to tighten this up a little bit so it's going to stay without actually breaking the wood. So this is going to be the hard part. What if I take this and just give it a little bit of a bend? Okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a bend. And is that better? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to bring it up a little bit more and give it a little bit more of a bend here and hopefully not break the wood. Okay, and this one here and this one here. I wonder if I could like even glue it or something on there. And let me just pinch this one closed. The other one, I'm not using the steel wire, that's for sure. It's really hard. Okay, so we're gonna go here. And Alman, you were saying you were gonna do this as a pendant or a ornament. So let's just bring that one around here. And then for the pendant, you can just do a little loop. So we're gonna go this way. I'm doing it perpendicular, but if you wanna add it with a jump ring, you can do it parallel to the piece. So there we go. This way it can go directly on a cord if you're doing it perpendicular. And if you wanted to do a separate cord, you can do it parallel. So I'm just going to go back on this thing around itself so it's super solid. Good grief, it's really stiff. So now we're going to just clip that in there. Hopefully it clipped. Yeah, there we go. I think it's done. Come on, there we go. Sometimes if you bend it back and forth, it'll actually break more, but it's not breaking. So let's just go in there. Perfect. I think we've got it almost. Not quite. Oh my goodness, this wire is ridiculous. It's so hard. Okay, so let's do this in here. And these memory wire cutters are super awkward. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this is cool. I will make a pendant and an ornament. Awesome. So this got a little bent up here. This was not in my plans for that one to go up there. I wanted actually this one to be lower down. So I don't know if I can fix it at this point. I'm going to try to like lift these up, bring this a little bit. Yeah, they got a little messed up here, but that's okay. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. Maybe just down like this. And try not to break it. Yeah, so we're gonna just go here and maybe this one. Yeah, they got a little distorted because, yeah, I wanted this line to be parallel to that line, but at this point I'm not gonna worry too much about it. But you see, it actually kind of, oh my goodness, it makes noise. Can you guys hear that? That is awesome. Oh my goodness, it's really, really fun. So what I would do after that is I would actually do the little drawing that you have on there too. So this steel wire actually works pretty good. It's kind of interesting. And then I think I'll leave this one like that for now. I might work again on it later after, but for now it's good. It's interesting, eh? Yeah, it's like a musical instrument. I'm totally making one for my mom, but bigger. Yeah, I think it's really cool. And you could probably do these ones separate so they do that noise. So now let's see what we could do with the metal piece and see what we can do from there. So now I'm going to go look back at your drawing and your photo and see what I can do with that. So here is the photo again, so you guys can see it's upside down. So there we go. So there's the photo. And let's see what we could do with this one. Aw, thank you guys so much. I have so much fun. You guys give me the best ideas. It's so much fun. So now let's try to do something with, you know what might be interesting? And I'm going to get some metal pieces, this is copper. It's a little rusty. This one is, actually this one might be easier to work with. This is an embossing metal that you can actually get at art stores as well because it's not as thick as this metal. So this might actually be good for the pegs. So why don't we try something like that? It's going to be a little tricky to cut these the right size, but what if we just take this and try to cut a few of these metal pieces separate? Hi Karen, how are you? Karen, we're making a kalimba today. It's something a little bit different. This was Alman's idea, and we're just going to play around with it. So I'm just going to cut a bunch of these. I think this you can get at any art store. I don't think I've seen it in a dollar store, but you can get it in an art store. I don't think you can get it in a hardware store. I think this is mostly like art supplies. It's embossing metal. I'll look online and see if it's possible to find it online. So what I want to do is just cut a few strips. Be very, very careful that you don't cut yourself. You might even be able to use, I bet you could use a tin can. I bet you could use a recycled tin can, like a Coke can or something. That would totally work. That would be the same weight as this. So we're just going to cut a bunch of these and see what we can do with this, because it would be fun to try two different ways, one with wire and one with metal. So we're just going to cut a bunch of these. Now, I wish that I had a rounder tool, like a way to round the ends, but I'm just going to do it by eye. So I haven't seen one since elementary school. Yeah, well, I'm going to make a big one. I'm excited. Paint on the picture on the blue one and use a cutout picture to put, yes, I think a little like a cutout picture of the deer would be lovely on that, because it's going to be very hard to get the detail. But if I could, oh, you know what I could even do is just print out Almond's picture he sent me, and cut it out and stick it on there. In fact, I could probably do that as we speak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like round these ends off for the ends of the tines. But in the meantime, I'm just going to open another tab on my computer and go to the Discord group. You guys can't see what I'm doing. If I could share my screen, that would be awesome. And then I could, oh, I could probably show you the screen. Let me just pick it up. The picture. Oh, wait, go back. Let me just find it, Almond. And yes, so I'm gonna go here. Perfect. So if I'm just going to, you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I will open up, I'll flip my screen a little bit. I'm just gonna get this, I'm gonna bring this to the side, bring it to my desktop, open a Word page, and new file. There's my computer. I'm gonna bring it up. And I'm going to drag this to my Word page. There we go. Okay, so there we go. There's the Word page. Let me bring it a little closer. And what I'm going to do is, I just installed a new, okay, I want to crop. So I'm going to just bring this up, bring that up like that. And I want to bring this one down. Whoa, okay, let's do this here. And crop, bring this one in, bring this one in. And this is how I would, like, I'm going to bring this down. Why is it way up there? I'm just trying to, whoa, okay. I'm not sure why this is doing this, but this one's way down here. So I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to crop this. So then maybe I can print it. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I'll just try it. This is how I do a lot of my things for when I want to add like pictures and things to my stuff. So if we go like that, we have the piece. Bring it down a little bit. It's going to be really a little bit, it's probably distorted because it's on an angle, and I want to, like, if I want to copy it, I could bring another one and make it smaller, because sometimes when I don't know what size I want, and then we're going to copy it and then make another one that's a little smaller. So when I don't know the size, sometimes I'll just do that. I'll just print a few, and I'm going to print it and we'll see how good it is. And I want to do it in color. So default settings, color. Okay, so let's just print that, and we're going to try. Hopefully it's going to print. I don't know if it's going to print or not. We're going to see. Okay, so now we are going to, hi Ginger, perfect. Oh, you guys are talking about chips. That works. So now we've got our little pieces, and we're going to just try to add these to the Kalimba, and I don't know if my thing is going to print or not. I'm not hearing any activity over there, so we're going to see. If not, I'll get it after and print it out. So we're going to do this and around, and then this one. We're going to get this one and around, and then just kind of soften up the edges a bit because I don't want these ones to be like too sharp, and I want them to be more round. So we're gonna go around here. Perfect. And then another one around here. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna see what we can do. Yeah, that thing's not printing, so I might have to do it later. And so now what we want to do is we want to attach these ones here. So I'm not gonna do them too big. Maybe I'll even attach them and then adjust the sizes later. I might do that. It might be easier. Hi to your mom. Oh, well, say hello to your mom for me too. That's awesome. So we're gonna go around here. So we're gonna do this one and this one. And I think what I'm gonna do for this is just wind them with some wire. So I'm gonna get some 24 gauge wire. It's gonna be much easier to work with, and it's copper, so that's good. So we're gonna get some of the, actually I don't even know if it's copper. It's a mix of different things. It's from Michaels. It's the 24 gauge wire from Michaels. So there we go. Perfect. So now let us take this one and we want to position that one about there. So I'm going to wind this around. I'm going to wind this in the middle. We're going to just go around here, and maybe I'll wind it around a couple of times. But we want to make sure that it's actually, you know, I'll just try it like this. I'm going to wind this around here. Okay. Okay. And then I want it to be able to stay there, like to stick in place. So we're just going to give it a good pinch, and hopefully that's going to stay in place. And then we're going to do the next one, and we're going to hold it like a little bit further up here. We might not have needed those holes in the metal. So I'm going to see, I might actually recut a piece without holes. We're going to see. So now we're going to go around here and wind it around a couple of times, or maybe just one time would be good. We'll see. I'll try it a couple of times. I think it's going to be good. Okay, and just be careful not to cut yourself with these. So we've got that one. Okay, we're going to give that one a little pinch. And then let's get another one. And every time you put one on, you're going to go a little bit like higher. Okay, a little bit higher. And then wind that one around. Perfect. I'm going to wind that one around and around. Perfect. And we'll give it a pinch. Hopefully that's going to stay. Okay. And then let's get ones over on this side. So now we're going to do this one here. And 1, 2, bring that one up a little bit. Perfect. Around here. And another time. Have you ever had vinegar and salt and chips? I only had salt and vinegar chips when I was younger. Yeah, I used to like them. In fact, I think they were my favorite kind of chip growing up, but I don't think I've had them since I was a kid. I know we used to put vinegar on our fries, on our French fries. That was something we used to do. And I think some people like to do that as well. So no, I used to like salt and vinegar chips, but I don't really eat chips anymore. The only chips I eat are tortilla chips, and very, very rarely. I'm not like a chip person. I have a really bad sweet tooth. I like sweet stuff. Otherwise, it makes me look for things around the house. Pringle to cut the metal, a Pringle thing. Oh, that's a good idea too, Clarice. Yeah, so I think you can use a pop can or a like Pringles can or something like that would be great. Yeah, like the metal from actual soup cans would be a little bit too, it's going to be too thick. But the metal from pop cans is quite thin. In fact, I know in Africa they make a lot of like little figures and stuff with that kind of metal. Like, I have on my list of things to make like a little girl, like a little dress out of a pop can. That would be cool. So here's these, but see, these are falling out a little bit because you have to really wrap it well so it's not going to come out. I think I'm just going to stick with 5 of these, but this one for some reason is, I didn't wrap it tight. Whoa, see, that broke. So that was unfortunate, but you know, when things like that happen, you can just add a wire. So I'm just going to add a wire. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to pretend it didn't break, and we're going to bring it around here and just give it a little pinch in there, and hopefully it's going to stay. That's the thing with the 24 gauge wire. It's very, very thin, so it can definitely break. So if we do that one there, and then I'm going to bring this one over here just to attach it in this place. And you know, we have the idea, but it's, yeah, it's a little fragile. So let me just trim that one there. Okay, and I'm going to trim all of these after, but now at this point you could kind of adjust them in a way, because you want some of them lower than others, right? So this one slipped down a little bit. So I'm actually going to bring this one up, okay, and bring that one up, because we want them staggered, and then this one up. That maybe is too much up. Okay, just bring, this is finicky, this part is getting them. See, this one does not want to stay. I do not know what's wrong with that one. Okay, let me just try that one again, because he's being difficult. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to come back to that one. So we're going to go bring that one up. So we have like these ones. So these are super cool. I don't know, does it make a sound? Little bit. So now, you saw there's not. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it breaks. So now I'm thinking I do not need these holes after all. So what I'm going to do for that is I can just even cut those off, or I could make another one. Let me just try to cut. I don't like those holes, so I'm just going to cut them off for now. Okay, and see what I can do. So let's cut those off. Don't like those holes. It was the idea I first had in my mind, but I don't think it's working. So we're just going to go like that. So now we have these. Like I said, you can file those if you want. It's not a problem. But what if we now just take these and we're going to stick them on here. But what I might want to do, because I want it to be a little like lifted up a little bit. So I'm wondering if I could just take this, wind it around now the front. Okay, we're just going to run it, like wind it around the front, and then bring it. I'm going to wind it around here once again, just to get a little more secure, and then wind it underneath again here to have it a little bit elevated, although I don't know if that's actually going to work or not, but we're just going to see. The main thing is I don't want these coming out, so let me just try to pinch it again without actually destroying it. Okay, we're going to just do that. Just pinch it a little bit more without actually pinching through the wire. Yeah, that's the thing about this. You know what I could do too is, well, let me just see. I'm going to attach it to this now, and then I'm going to figure it out after. So if we bring this one here now, just thinking out loud, which I do a lot. So because I think it would be nice to have something underneath it to hold it up in place. So let me just try something. I'm going to leave that here for now. I'm going to get the metal again, wherever that piece is that I had. Here it is. So I'm going to take another piece of this metal and see if I can put like a little bar underneath it. So let's cut some more metal, a little bit more, maybe over here. Okay, I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces. Okay, we'll cut this one and then this one. Okay. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with this. So there we go. We're going to take this and try to flatten it out a little bit. So we're going to flatten that one out and this way. So what happens if we're first going to cut this one flat, because I think we need a little bit more height here. So if we put this one here, it's still not super high. You would almost like want to put it that way, but that's not going to work. Or you could fold it in half maybe. And then if you put it here, you can almost like put it here. But I think this is still too flat and it's going to be a little bit finicky. Ah, I have an idea. What if we make a coil? So let me do that. I am going to get some thicker wire. So let me just take a piece of wire here. This one is, that's maybe too thick. I'm just going to find some 20 gauge wire. So here's a piece of 20 gauge wire that's about 18 inches long. Whoops. Here's a piece of 18 gauge wire that I'm going to wrap it around. Could make one with flat wire. Yes, you could definitely use flat wire. Actually, the flat wire would be great for these tines, Ginger. That's an amazing idea. And that way you don't have to like possibly injure yourself cutting metal. No, I love that idea, Ginger. That's fantastic. So what I'm going to try to do for this one, to levitate it a little bit, I'm going to make a coil. This might not be big enough, but I'm going to try, and we're going to just do like a coil. I think maybe I should use thicker wire for this because it's going to be, yeah, I'm going to try it with the thicker wire. So I have some 18 gauge wire. Actually, it's more like, it's 1.2 millimeters because the aluminum wire often comes in millimeters. So aren't the ends at the top usually bent? Possibly. I'll look at I have to trim them, and I'm gonna look at the picture again to be sure. But for now, I'm just gonna try to levitate those tines a little bit. So I'm making a coil, and this way I could actually put the coil on the 24 gauge wire. So I'm gonna see what I could do with that. Okay, now I've bent the wire, so it got a little bit bent. Let's bring it over to this side. Okay, bring it over here, straighten it out a little bit, and stick it on the wire. Okay, so we're going to put that one on here. Have to loosen up my coil a little bit. Perfect. So let's just keep coiling this one. And we want to make it the width of the kalimba. So let's just check where we put this. Yeah, it's going to have to, ooh, this is looking like a mouse trap, guys. So let's bring this one around here. So it has to be the width of that. Okay, and I'm going to just trim one end. Okay, we'll trim one end there. And we're going to remove this one and trim that one. Okay. Yeah, it's looking a lot like a mouse trap. So now we're going to take this spring and put it underneath and see if that works. So we'll take the spring, put it under here. Okay, and then that kind of levitates the bottom part. But I think the spring, okay, this one has to come out a little bit more because these don't go like the full length of that. So let's go ahead and bend this one. Okay, I'm going to bend this one here, around here a little bit. And then the idea would be the spring would go underneath. So this is interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. So we're going to stick this one here. And then we're going to, I think this piece though is not big enough now. So now I'm going to go back and cut another piece of metal because I really feel that it has to be a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and cut another piece. And we're just going to, yeah, we're just going to cut another piece. So it's not, because I cut those holes off, it's not big enough anymore. So we're going to go here, bring this here, and cut it straight up. Okay, so we're going to just cut that straight up. Ooh, this stuff is really hard. This is from the Beeducation people. They sell all metal stamping stuff. So we've got that one. And then let's make sure it's longer than this one. So like a good length, because we want these to be on there. We can adjust these a little bit. I mean, I don't want it too long either, but I definitely want it longer than this one. So I'll cut it about here. We'll just cut it across there. Perfect. And then round our ends again, just with the cutters. Just otherwise they're going to be really, really sharp. Bring these around and bring these around. Okay, and then we're just going to bend that down. Perfect. So now, oh, you know what I could even do? Aha, I have a better idea. Maybe I can do my little holes. Like you could wind it all the way around, but I'm thinking if I do these little holes in here, now would be the time to do that. I'm just going to look at the picture again to see how it looks. Okay, so yeah, so if we put the holes, say, around one here, a little bit close to the end, maybe about here. Okay, and then one on this side. Try to get it about even. Hopefully it's in the same spot. Okay, so if we got those there, they're more or less right. Now what I want to do is I'm going to check that this is the right width. Okay, it's a little bit wide now, so I'm going to cut a little bit off of those. Okay, I'm going to cut it like here. Okay, bring that one in here. There's a hole. There's the hole. That should be good. So now what I'm going to do, instead of doing all this, I'm actually going to remove this one. Okay. And hopefully it's not going to break. Okay, because what I want to do now, this was the front, this was the back. I don't know if it matters. I think I'm going to bring this way. I could bend these. I can change the bend on these. That's fine. So I'm going to, oh, there it broke again. So that's the problem. So now I'm just going to trim this one and get some more wire. So let's get some more wire. I can maybe like, I could rebend these, I guess, but I'm just going to get another piece of wire and try. So yeah, I'm just going to do one hole on either side there, and we're going to try to attach it with the springs. So let's go ahead and take this. Okay, this will go underneath, and what I want to do is just attach this one end first. So I'm going to bring this around, bring it around. Hopefully my hands are still on screen. This is definitely different than anything we've ever done on this channel, but it's super fun. So also what I want to do is I want to make sure, what if we do this? Because I'm finding it needs to be attached in a couple of places or it's going to come undone. So if I bring this here, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and rather than have a straight line across, I'm going to go ahead and rewind all these, I think, just to keep them lined up. I think you need them wound in several places. Otherwise, they're going to wiggle back and forth. That's the problem, because the more wires you have wound around them, the more stable they're going to be. Even if it doesn't look as accurate as the actual kalimba, at least it's, you know, I think it's going to be more stable. I mean, in theory, you could even put little holes in the middle of these tines, but I think that's going to be tricky because they're going to be too close to the edges. So we're going to come around here, around there. Perfect. So it's a bit messy, but it's just going to give it a little bit more stability. So now the idea would be, let's keep that one like that. What if we... we want to put this underneath, and then we want to put these wires through here. So let's just go ahead and stick this on here because we don't want it to come undone. I'm going to stick that one on there. Okay. I have to go to and have an exam. Okay. Bye, Mustafa. Good luck with your exam for sure. So we're going to bring this one over here. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Okay, bring that one over here. There. And then, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to pull that one. I hope it's long enough because I want to put a wire through either end. So we put this one through that way and the other one through the other way. It should work. There we go. That's what we want to do. So we're going to take that and pull it. Okay. So we've had the wire, one wire goes through one way and one wire goes through the other way of the spring. See, so here's the spring underneath. We did a wire through either side, either way. Okay. Now we're going to try to center this. So this is attached all together. So that looks good. And then now we want to attach it to our base. So we've got that. We've got like that. And these probably we're going to try to squish them a little closer together. But for now, that's okay. So now we're going to bend this wire back and this one back. And let's stick these in these holes. So we're going to stick that one in there and that one in there, here. And yes, so it works, guys. It's holding in place. It looks amazing. And then what we want to do is just bring this to the back. And the same thing we did before. If it's going to be a pendant, you could bring this one like straight up type of thing. And then this one, or you know what, for a pendant, we can just add, I think we're just going to put a jump ring on it. So what I want to do now is just attach these wires. And if they're attached on the back, they're going to be a little scratchy. So let's bring this one to the front and let's bring this one to the front because I don't want them to be scratchy on the back. So we're going to bring this here and this one here. Okay, and that one here. So now we've got our ends to the front, which is good. This looks really cool. And then you just want to finish your ends. So maybe what we could do to finish the ends is just bring it up over this last tine, twist it a couple of times, and then finish it at the back. And then really it's not going to be scratchy at all. So we're going to click that there. And then this one too, even though it's a little bit light, small, we might be able to twist it around once. So let's just try. See if we can twist it around one time. We're not going to be able to twist it around 2 times because it's very short. So this is why I usually cut my wires too long than too short, because if they're too long, it's fine. You can trim them, but if they're too short, there's not much you can do with them. So this one isn't as secure as the other side, but at least it's sort of in place. So now we have these. It looks pretty good and looks amazing. Yes, it's coming along, eh? It's definitely a learning curve, guys. Like, this is definitely different than anything I've ever done before. I mean, I've done some pretty funky crafts before, but this is very intricate. So now what you want to do is try to make sure they're in the right position. Like, this one is too long now. So I'm going to take this and pull it a little bit, just a little bit. I don't want to pull it too much. Yeah, so just try to get it like in the right, yeah, so that one's good. Maybe pull this one back down a little bit. And then these ones are pretty good as well. Maybe I'll pull that one up a little bit. So they're more or less in the same position. So now the thing is we really want these to stay in place and not to come undone. So that's the tricky part. I should have maybe done like little grooves in the metal to make sure that they stick in place, because it's really hard to get them in a way that they're going to hold and not slide out. So either you do like little grooves on either side of the metal, which you could do, but now it's a little too late for me to do that. So we can go like that. And then now I'm going to look at the original picture just to see how much further up they have to go. Let me see. Okay. Oh, it's a little tricky to tell from the picture. Yeah, they're just sort of cut off, you know, in the original picture. But if you do want to make sure they're super secure, I think Karen said about bending the ends. So yeah, they could be bent, but what I'm thinking too is you could probably like like literally bend them underneath so they won't come undone. So let's try that. So if we want to bend them, like keep them like consistent, and we'll cut them a little bit longer than the end of the thing. So let's just cut them across there. So these are really sharp, right? So we can try to bend those and see what happens. So let me move some of this stuff. And I'm going to just try to like just bend them behind, okay? And then that way it does two things. It makes them more secure and less sharp. So let's just go through them, bend them underneath. Okay, we're just going to give those a little bend. And it's decorative, right? So it doesn't have to be super accurate, but you do want it to look nice. So we're just bending the end. You want it not to be scratchy. So we're just bending these back. Okay, and those are just going to be kind of out of the way like that. So we're going to bend those back. And I don't think my thing ever printed, so I'm going to also try to do that. So this is this one here, but then we're going to want to do another one because there's like, it seems to be in two places. So now I'm going to put a couple more holes and make another spring. You can take them, you can take and cut them not too short and roll them under, that way they won't cut anything. Yeah, so like yeah, you could roll them or you can bend them. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And then that way you don't, they're not sharp. So now I'm gonna do another, this isn't proportionate to the one Almond sent me, but I'm gonna do another little coil here. And I want those there. Okay, so if I do another little coil here, I'm gonna stick this one here, a little hole. And then we'll do one on the other side. We'll stick a little hole on this side. Hopefully it's somewhat in the same position. Right there. Okay. So now let's do another coil. So we'll get another piece of the thicker wire, the 1.2 millimeter, and I'll cut another little piece to wind it around. Go from there. So there we go. So let's take this. It's coming along, definitely coming along. It might even make some noise. We're going to see after. So now we're going to take this and wind it around to make the coil. So let's just go around, try not to do it too tightly. And we're just going to do it the same length as the other one. So round and round. This is aluminum, so it's really easy to work with. Let's see if it's about the same. Maybe a couple more. That should be good. Okay, so we'll go around here. And we're going to cut that one. And take that one off. Make sure it's the same length. Maybe just take one less. Okay, like that. And then that one is going to go at this side. So let me get another piece of the 24 gauge wire. 24 gauge wire. And I am going to do this and stick that one on there. And I'm going to just check my document to print it. I'm just going to, this one for some reason didn't print. So I'm just going to open my printer and see what's wrong. It's looking for the printer. I'm going to try to turn my printer on because that might be why it didn't print. So I turned my printer on. If it doesn't work, I'll finish it later. That's not a problem. And my printer's being really temperamental because it can never seem to find Wi-Fi. So I don't know why. So now we're going to take this one, center it, bend these down, okay, and stick these under here. So what I have to do is slide this under. To take these, oh, I hear my printer. So there we go. Stick this under here, slide this under, I just want to get these under here. It's tricky to get these. Maybe if I can lift them up with a, I'll lift them up with a wire. There we go, just to get them underneath. Just to get that one underneath. Perfect. Whoop, that one got stuck. There we go. So there we go. So now we have that. They're lifted up like that. So that's what you really need to do. You need to really leave it lift so it's lifted up. And because I don't want to finish these on the back, I'm going to try to put them back up to the front. Okay, bring that one up to the front, and then bring that one up to the front. And then pull it tight, like that one, pull it tight. And then that one, pull it tight. Okay. And there we have the other spring is there. So now we want to finish these off. So I don't know the best thing to do. Maybe just wind it underneath the spring or something. I'm just going to see. Oh, you know what? I can just maybe put it through the hole again. I'll just see, depending on how big your hole is. Right, I can't see anything. So we're going to bring that around here, stick it through the hole again. Whoop, I have too many wires here. So now we're going to bring that up. And if you put it through the hole enough times, it's like sewing. You know, when you stitch over the same stitch several times, then you could just clip it and it won't unravel. So the wire is sort of the same way. So we're just going to bring it up, and then you could probably just clip it and it should be fine. So there we go. And this one too, we'll just clip it and it should be fine. So there we have, wow guys, we have this, but now these are fragile, right? So they bent a little bit. So now I'm just going to bend them up. Okay, and this one. And then we'll put a little hole at the top so you can hang it as a pendant or an ornament. So we're going to bring these up a little bit. And Alman, I cannot wait to see if you actually make one of these because, yeah, I'll be curious to see what sort of option you go with. This one ended up being a little bit low. I don't know how that, oh no, that's okay. This one was too high. So these are, some of these are a little bit loose. So what you might have to try with these is, like I said, do like a little niche at the side, like just a teeny little niche at the side, and then they're going to hold in place. I'll show you what I mean. Like if you take your piece of metal, okay, and before you attach it to there, take your, if you have one of these, it works well. But if you just do like a little niche at the side, I don't know if you could see it, but it's just literally like a teeny little niche at the side, either side. And then that way, when you attach it with wire, whoops, when you attach it with wire, it's going to hold in that little niche. Otherwise, there's nothing for the wire to grab onto. So that's one option. And then when you wrap it, it's going to stay in that groove. Do you see what I mean? Like it'll stay in the groove. Otherwise, if you don't have that hole punch, I guess you could also do like little, with your cutters, do a little niche, but you have to be careful with that because, yeah, see, that works pretty well. Just do like a little niche with your cutters and then do the same thing. Just careful not to cut in too far. And so that's two options. And then the other option I thought was just to take your round pliers and just kind of gently bring it in, but that kind of destroys it a little bit. So I would go with the cutting with your little nipper cutters. That would be the best thing. So now what we have is we have the kalimba. It's I think if you do the little niches in there, it's the little grooves, it's going to stick better. This one's ending up, these ones are a little close together. And then for the top, you can go ahead and add this in here and make a little hole. So I should have done this first. I definitely should have done this first because it's going to be hard to get in there, but we want to get in here and center it. I'm going to push these up a little bit for now. And we want to get this one in here and then center it and do like a little punch with this hole punch thing. So this is, I think this punch. No, I think it didn't come in the basic kit for the metal stamping. I think you buy it separately from BGcation, but it's a really handy little tool. So there's that, and then you would just stick a little jump ring in the top. So I don't know if I have a jump ring, but I can make a quick jump ring just to see what it would look like. So I'll just cut a little piece of the metal of wire, 20 gauge wire, and I'll just do a little jump ring to stick in there. So looks awesome. Thank you. So talented. Thank you. Thanks, Phoebe, or Phoebe, I guess it's pronounced. Yeah, so let's just do our little jump ring. Clip this. I just buy jump rings. I don't usually make my own unless I make them out of sterling silver. And so we're just going to open this one up and then stick it on here. Okay, and close it up. So there we have the kalimba. Let's see if it's going to make a little bit of sound. This I should have maybe put the spring a little bit lower. I could have done it a little bit lower. I'm not too sure. And let's just see. Can you hear it? It definitely makes noise. It's not musical, but it makes noise. So let me go see if I can find the what printed out of the computer to try to put it on there, and we're going to see what we can do. So these are the ones that printed out of the computer of the little logo that was on the kalimba. So let me just see if any of these are the right size. And then the idea would be, you don't have to cut right around it because we painted the kalimba the same size as the background. So I just called over the dog. Oh, okay, you're babysitting today. Yeah, so here we go. So we're going to cut this one out, and let's just see if it's the right size. So I'm not sure what this part is. Oh, these are the actual tines, I think, that are around here. So let's just try to cut it out a little bit, and then we'll just see if we can. And you can always like really try to match up the color on there as well. I just did this really quickly, but the idea would be, yeah, see, that's too big, that one. So the idea would be to put that on there. Or, I mean, you could just paint like a little flower or something would be nice on there. But if you did want it to get it super accurate with the logo, this would be an option to do this, to cut the logo out and put it on there. So this one's way too big, so we'd have to like take that off and put it on there, or you could paint like a different design on there. So there you go, and then you would just kind of varnish it on. So guys, that's it. We're done. So let the party begin. Wendy, we're just finishing. Sorry about that. Yeah, we made these kalimbas. So there's this one, which is very stylized with all the tines that are one piece of wire. And oh, you've been watching, but you couldn't chat. Oh, well, I'm glad you finally got through. So, and then there's this one here. So thank you to Alman for the great idea for the kalimba. That was super fun. I'm gonna flip my screen around. There we go. Flip the screen. Perfect. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. That was super fun. Sorry it was one day late. It's a busy time of year. And we'll see. It looks beautiful. Yay! I'm so happy. That was a great idea. I love you guys when you have these really wild ideas. You just never know what you can do, you know, even if it's not 100% made out of wire, or if it's not perfectly accurate, it's still super fun to do. So yeah, so we'll do it. Let's Get Wired on Saturday at 12 noon. I prefer the first one, but they're both beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I would definitely like to explore this idea and do some more. I do like the first one too, with the one piece of wire. It's really interesting, and it's certainly much easier to do. And Debbie likes both of them. You have beautiful hair. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. It was a bone of contention when I was younger, but I'm cool with it now, having very thick hair. So guys, hope to see you Saturday, 12 noon Eastern time for Let's Get Wired. I also re-uploaded the video of the wire tree for the mixed media project that we did a little while ago, and the tutorial for the watercolor background is on the art channel, so that one's up now. And yeah, we'll hope to see you on Saturday. Oh, thanks so much. So guys, we'll see you soon and have a great rest of the week. Okay, bye.